Hello and welcome to Chesapeake Weekly Home Edition. Surprise! The Centerville Turnpike Bridge is back open to motorists. So crews were able to finish all those repairs ahead of schedule, and now the road is back open for drivers to use. Now, you might remember that it closed initially at the end of last year because of an accident where a barge hit the bridge, causing some pretty major damage and requiring several months of necessary repairs, and of course the full bridge closure. Now, crews have been working tirelessly to make all the necessary repairs to get the bridge back in action. So now we can all rejoice that we have that critical route back open just in time for summer traffic. Now, while we're talking Centerville, a quick reminder that while the official comment period has passed, you can still access information about the Centerville Turnpike Bridge replacement feasibility study. You can find all that at cityofchesapeake.net/Centerville. So this study is taking a look at all the options about a possible full bridge replacement. But keep in mind, there is currently no funding for a project of that size. So they're just looking at all of the options, and this is part of the process to see how we get to that end goal. So again, find all of that information at cityofchesapeake.net/Centerville. Well, the second ever virtual town meeting is open now. So last year, as we were looking for ways to hold these meetings in a COVID-safe way, we came up with a virtual town meeting, and it turned out to be a real success. We got some great questions for you guys, and we were really happy to be able to provide responses in both written and video format, so we're gonna do it again. So what we have now is a survey available online that provides you with 3 open text boxes for you to just ask anything about major projects or city operations, really anything city related and of a broad nature. Just note that this is for city related, not schools. So for school information, you got to go to cpschools.com. This is just for your city related questions and concerns. And when I say broad, I mean, it's really not the place for you to ask questions that only affect you. Like, for example, it wouldn't be the place to ask about why your trash was missed, because in order to respond best to that, we ask you to go through the customer contact center. You'll get a much faster response for things like that. But this is for those questions of a broad nature, like updates on major projects or questions about how the city operates. So we do hope that you will submit your questions. The survey will be open through May 14th. You can find it on our website, all our social medias. It's all over the place. We do hope that you'll share with us any questions and concerns, and then tune back in on June 1st when we'll start sharing the responses. Well, early voting is now open. Yes, we have another election coming. It's coming in June, and it's the Democratic primaries. Election day is June 8th, and on the ballot will be the Democratic candidates for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and if you live in the 79th district, which is out in Western Branch, you'll also be choosing a Democratic candidate for the House of Delegates. I went over to visit Mary Lynn Pinkerman, the Chesapeake General Registrar, to learn more about the upcoming election and really to just see what they've been up to since we last talked to her back in November.
We're having a Democratic Party primary. It is just the Democratic Party. The Republicans are holding a caucus. So we are in our 45 days of early voting already. We started on April 23rd. You can early vote at our office on Cedar Road, 411 Cedar Road, or we're still using 2 of our satellite locations. The libraries are kind enough to let us use Indian River Library as well as the Russell Memorial Library for those that live further out in the city. In Virginia, we do not register by party, so technically it is open to anybody. Sometimes we have the issue where people have had to go to the polls and choose a ballot, Democrat or Republican, but that's only if we have 2 primaries going on at the same time, but we don't have that issue this time. You can vote early in person up until the Saturday before the election, that's June 5th, or you can vote by mail. Anybody can do that now in Virginia. They have made it where you still have to fill out an application to get the ballot, just so we have the information to send it to you, but you don't have to qualify and give a reason. Anybody can do it. Normal election day is June 8th, and the polls will be open 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. as usual. We could always use help. June primaries, because of the time of year, there's so much going on for folks around that time, especially those with kids and school getting out and all of that, that we have a lot of our folks that are unable to help us. So yes, we can always use extra help around the June primaries. So call our office, go online to our website, and sign up to become an election official.
So the usual election day voting will absolutely be an option on June 8th. There's also, we're doing early in-person voting again, like we did back in November, but it's slightly scaled back. So for early in-person voting, there are 3 locations: the General Registrar's Office, Indian River Library, and Russell Memorial Library. Any registered voter can vote at these locations. Voting hours are weekdays from 8 to 5 at the Registrar's Office and from 10 to 4 at the library locations. Plus, all locations will have 2 Saturday options on May 29th and June 5th from 9 to 5. So lots of options for getting in that early vote. You can find all the election information as well as a sample ballot at cityofchesapeake.net/vote. Well, the planning department is in their final stages of the ongoing Indian River Planning Area Study, and they're at another point in the process where they're looking for your feedback. A virtual community meeting will be held from Monday, May 3rd to Sunday, May 23rd to allow the public to view and comment on the full draft of the study's overall planning strategies and implementation recommendations. Now, this document was created in large part thanks to the input from the community, so the planning department wants to continue with that to hear what you think about their final recommendations. Find all the documents and submit your comments at cityofchesapeake.net/IR study. You can also contact Project Manager Benjamin Camrus with any questions about the study at 382-6176. Well, how confident are you in both your personal ability and the city's ability to respond to high-risk hazards? So we want to know, and you can share your opinions through the Southside Hazard Identification and Risk Assessment Survey. It's a quick and easy survey that lets you tell us your level of concern and your level of confidence in the response to hazards such as fire, flood, snow, even cyber attacks. Results will be used to prioritize protection, prevention, and mitigation activities. You can find a link to that study on the city's homepage at cityofchesapeake.net. When first responders are trying to get to your home in an emergency, you don't want anything to slow them down, and that includes red lights. Well, there's a system in place that helps give the green light to all first responders.
The City of Chesapeake has been using what's called the Opticom Emergency Vehicle Preemption System, or EVP system, since 1979. And over the years, we've rolled this system out to more of our intersections throughout the city. As of now, 150 of our 179 intersections have this technology on board. And this is critically important for first responders like fire trucks, ambulances, police vehicles. When they get to an intersection and the light is red, this EVP system allows an IR transmitter on board that vehicle to transmit a signal to the intersection, which switches the signal to a green signal. It lets that vehicle transit safely through the intersection and then get through there, go onto the scene. It cuts off that cross traffic. And what that allows them to do is improve their response times. And more importantly, it gets them through what are potentially busy intersections without risking collisions from crossing traffic, so that vehicle doesn't have to go through that red light and slow down and stop and wait for traffic to stop for them to transit through safely. So as most people know, our traffic signals here in Chesapeake are synchronized, and there's signal timing throughout several of the corridors, and those traffic signals work together in harmony. What happens when you have an external input from this EVP system, say a police car or a fire engine approaching that traffic signal, sending a signal to turn it green? It's going to put that traffic signal out of time or out of sync with the signals along that corridor. The good thing is it only takes, in our observations, about 2 to 3 rotations of that light to get back in normal timing. Compared to how important it is to get those first responders through those intersections quickly and safely, it's a minor price to pay to ensure that we're looking out for the safety of everyone, not only our first responders and those at the scene, but the motorists would have to travel through those intersections.
So like Jason said, sometimes when a signal is not syncing correctly, it means that not long before you arrived at that intersection, a first responder was perhaps moving through it. And that takes a couple of cycles for the lights to get back on track. So oftentimes that's what's happening. If there is a glitch in the system and you notice it, you notice that a traffic signal isn't quite working how it's supposed to, we want to hear about it. Definitely call the Customer Contact Center at 382-CITY, that's 382-2489, or put in a service request at cityofchesapeake.net/requests. Well, we know them for their books, but if we've learned anything over the past year, it's that our public libraries are about so much more than books. And now they're helping us grow in a new way with a seed library.
Hi, it's Vivian from Major Hillard Library, and I'm here to talk to you about our seed library. Now, it's located at Major Hillard, but you can request that seeds be sent to any of our 7 branches. And we hope that you will do that. We have flowers, we have herbs, and we have vegetables. And as you're probably aware, gardening has so many benefits. They have mental and physical benefits. So we hope that if you're not a gardener, you'll get started. And if you're a seasoned gardener, that you'll continue and find some seeds here at the Major Hillard Library that will work for you. You just need to go to our website, which is chesapeakelibrary.org/seed library, all one word, and choose the seeds that you would like. Give us a call at the Major Hillard Library, and we will put them on the run to a library near you. Happy growing.
A seed library supports sustainability and food security by providing community access to a variety of seeds. Plus, not only can you get some seeds, but you can get the education on how to successfully plant them. I know I really enjoyed planting some seeds this year, and it's really fun to do with your kids or do with your friends and family to watch them grow. So learn more about all things Chesapeake Public Libraries and the Seed Library at chesapeakelibrary.org. Well, gift card scams are going around, and they're cheating their victims out of thousands of dollars. In fact, just last year, there were over 70 cases involving gift card scams to the tune of, get this, $250,000. So in these scams, the scammers convince their victims that they must pay for something using gift cards. The reasons vary, but they always come back to the idea that the victim must go to a retail outlet, purchase physical gift cards, and then provide the PIN numbers on the cards to the scammer. Here are just a few of the people who should never ask you for payment in the form of a gift card. And this is pulled from scams that took place right here in our community. So, you should never be asked to purchase a gift card or to send a gift card to any law enforcement or government official. So this means sheriff, police, FBI, even private security companies. You should never provide a gift card to utility providers. No gift cards for the cable bill. Your bank institution should never ask you for one. Secret shoppers, online dating apps, job applications, or really any business should never ask you for payment in the form of a gift card. Okay, so now who can you buy gift cards for? Well, it's pretty simple. Grandma, for Christmas, great idea. Mom, for Mother's Day, excellent idea. Your friend who's having a bad day, totally get them a gift card. If you know the nonprofit, some nonprofits do request that. That can be tricky. Make sure that it's a organization that you know and trust. But it should be those personal acquaintances that you're getting gift cards for. And look, if somebody's asking you to buy them a gift card, that's not a gift. There's a reason why they call it a gift card. It's got to be your idea. So give it to those you love, give it to those who you know, and don't get caught in these gift card scams. That does it for this week's edition of Chesapeake Weekly. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you right back here again next week.
Mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's at 58 years old.
This disease just ravages a family.
It changes your life. If we work together, we can stop this epidemic. Now is the moment.
Contact Bright Focus and learn more.
Don't just learn history, live history. At the Great Bridge Battlefield and Waterways Museum, you'll experience life in 18th century Virginia. Discover the water that defined the landscape. Visit a colonial tavern and find yourself in the middle of the Battle of Great Bridge. Your next adventure begins at the Great Bridge Battlefield and Waterways Museum. All COVID-19 safety precautions apply. Go to gbbattlefield.org for more information.